What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Showtime is Blaze King with King's Critiques, and we're here for Necronomico and the Cosmic Horror Show. And where it started out as just seeming like some silly little VTuber adventure, we quickly realized that it is not that simple. Because by the end of the episode, we saw somebody Sayori themselves, as it were. And we're seeing where it goes from here. There was not an intro in the last episode, so if there is an intro for this episode, we of course will watch it due to respect, as I mentioned in the first episode. But, that said, of course, usual caveats will be, number one, stating if they're shorter than intended on the red platform, blame them for not knowing how to check for copyright, because they have an AI do everything, and they don't know what the exact text of the copyright law is. They've even said that they don't check themselves, so when they get shit wrong, oopsie daisy. This is a word from the red platform themselves. Secondary caveat would be, of course, if you're watching this show, or you're interested, or whatever, it is highly encouraged to leave a comment to converse with myself or other people, because that's great for the algorithm, as is the last caveat being, if you're not sticking around to leave a comment, at the very least, let the video run through the limit of the watch time, and hit the like button and subscribe, because that also is all great for the algorithm. That said, let's get to it. I will say again, though, the villains literally all look like they belong in some kind of old school kids show type anime. And I was about to say, like, the rest of them look like they're having a good old time and stuff. But meanwhile, their assumed leader, also the hottest one, clearly, but also kind of took over the body of the main character's friend, because we're totally believing that. She's kind of the most despicable, ain't she? But also, yeah, honestly, I thought the one on the left over there was supposed to be just some, Cthulhu-like creature, but apparently she actually is Cthulhu in this case, on the right. And, yeah, I did already mention, since there's an intro in this that's applicable, we're going to be listening into it. So, red platform, skip along if you wish. Orange platform, you can listen with me if you want. Okay, though, despite the evil character, still kind of the hottest. Literally, though, why do all these characters have very, children's card game anime style hairstyles going on? Yeah, do you really, or do you not remember waking up from those pods and then seeing some people dangling? You remember that bit? So her boss went insane and that's what happened. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but instead of stopping him when you had the chance, you kind of let it... here's the thing a lot of people need to learn from sci-fi or horror movies. If someone looks like they're doing something that's going to become much, much worse, I don't care how unlikely it is, you stop whatever they're trying. If you see some book that looks like it has, I don't know, fucking Aramaic, Latin, German, anything like that, don't let them read it. Don't let them summon whatever is going to be summoned. Because it's not going to be a good time. Case in point, dude who looks kind of like Evil Aichi is probably her boss. I'm going to stop you right there, Blondie. If you ask who would try to save their company using black magic, hi, I'm actually that person. If I had in touch with black magic of any kind, you think I wouldn't use it to try to, either gain hyper intelligence or hyper attractiveness? Nah, I totally would. Because, whether it's intelligence to try to, know how to push all my content out there better than I already do, I actually have no clue how to do that as I am, other than, maybe making my tags different, but worry about that another time. Or, make myself more attractive, so maybe at least my thumbnails would draw in more people because I'm, handsome. Because, listen, I'm going to be one of those people, you can call me incel if you want, but it's truth in the matter. 99.99% of the time, females or people who can pass as feminine need to show the cleavage, and it's 1 billion views. Maybe not quite 1 billion, but you get what I mean. I can scroll through TikTok, and, the ratio between women who do that and women who actually have, well thought out and well spoken videos while keeping themselves mostly covered, the amount of views and likes and stuff far different from each other. That's not just a assumption because of someone who is being called a slur instead of something that is intended to be a compound word. Yeah, that's just factual, I'm sorry. Main character syndrome. You give me an in, I'm taking it. Oh, well, gee, thanks for telling me that now. Honestly, though, I could see that, like, someone participates in the next round, loses, and then they just take control of that person's body and go kill the blonde girl. Like, fine, you don't want to participate in our game? Large Japanese auto manufacturer has new model. New science tells you how much to drink every day. Badgers get... Man, the badger doesn't give a fuck. What do you mean? Clear skies across Japan. That's a good thing. Coffee X coffee. That sounds a little coffee yaoi. Dude kind of reminds me of that one character from Yu-Gi-Oh! The one who played Judge Man in that one arc. Also, can we just talk about, just 2 seconds, the fact that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Website that is supposed to hold all episodes to watch officially are literally missing the playability factor of at least 3 episodes from the current point I was trying to watch. Like, missing part 1 of the fight. The Jinzo fight? Yeah, the Jinzo versus Kaiba fight. They're missing both parts of the Bakura versus Merrick. So, like, were those just, like, way too far past typical PG for them to allow on the thing? Or is my, like, internet just having a stroke trying to render those episodes or something? Because everything else is working, and that's the guy that thinks he's the main character. Okay, that is an insane way to say how you were, like, found. Like, being left in a train station locker, I've heard things of that happening, honestly. That's probably one of the more fucked up ways to dispose of a child. Like, what enters people's minds? And like, I don't like children, mind you, but at least I'd try, like, handle things responsibly if I found a random child or, like, had... point being, don't just dispose of your children if you don't want them in miscellaneous locations. Like, literally, there are set locations you can just fucking leave a child and abandon it. Like, lockers, garbage cans, these are places you don't need to leave babus. You know, if you're gonna try and treat them at least, like, halfway like they deserve to live, at least if I can drop them off at a fire station or something. Like, I know not everyone has that capability, but if you're gonna take the time to take them to a location, at least make it the proper location. And then you met a girl who became your best friend. And, okay, that's a little creepy. I was about to say, even as children, they were, like, that close, which makes sense why they became such good friends, but it's still a little creepy. Yeah, that's all. I will say real quick, by the way, like, the attention to detail from the artists is actually really good. Like, I'm making fun of the way the characters look a lot when it comes to looking like something from a children's anime. But, like, you notice the cigarette butts and how, they all have the fucking leftovers of the purple lipstick from the bar owner? That's a really nice attention to detail, honestly. Hey, getting the money over the internet is not a problem. Like, if you have something that's considered an actual job in that respect, it's not a bad thing. Excuse again, when your way of getting the money through the internet also is kind of basically an act of, well, to put more specifically, SW work. Wait, I just said work twice technically, whatever. Basically, don't be a hoe. Like, if you're an OnlyFans or literally anything that's an equivalent to that, it's fine if you want to do that, but at least be completely open and just say you're a hoe. Like, you can run an OnlyFans and not be a hoe, don't get me wrong. But it's very rare. And, like, I know this caused a whole big controversy with, like, one of the biggest streamers of all time who loves to rub his, viewers' nose in the amount of money he makes. But I'm on him with this one. Like, if you have an OnlyFans, unless you're, like, just selling artwork that won't really get recognized anywhere else but maybe Tumblr, yeah, a hoe. Yeah, you just confirmed with her what she was already thinking of doing. Hey, she's old enough to drink. Like, in other countries but America, I'm pretty sure it's 18 unless they moved it up. Which I found out they moved up the age of consent for cigarette purchases recently. Like, I didn't know they did that, but apparently, like, I was at a store that smells accessories for smoking, and they had banisters over it that said 21 or over, and it's like, when was that a thing? Now, granted, at least I don't need to worry about that shit, but not like kids don't find their shit other places anyway. Though I will say that I agree on the whole thing to where people said before about the age of consent for drinking. If you're old enough to fight in the army, you're old enough to do whatever the fuck you feel like anyway. Yeah, this really is just man syndrome. I don't get it. I love how the last three comments were just so like, this is not that OF type of stream, man. Come on. Yo, I didn't actually think about that as a way to run my lights. Like, put them in front of the camera directly. I should try and find some of those RGB lights I have around to see if that actually helps the brightness of things. Well, let's see. When she's considering that she can help out her best friend's sister, of course she's gonna do it. Doggy. Damn, that dog is going off. Oh, yeah, that's probably why. It senses supernatural energy going on. Yeah. Hopefully you can't hear my stomach. So that means if you end up going crazy, skill issue. That one kind of reminds me of Makoto. So the manga artist is probably the next one out, right? Hopefully not the hot chick, because... Listen. We will get to see the main character's friend in action, or the villain as much as I'd like to. At least, hopefully, she can stick around for a bit. Yeah, I wonder what kind of an actress she is. Got her own OnlyFans, I bet. What did I just say? You literally could say that about 60% of actresses who are terrible at what they do, but keep getting work. But the crazy part is, a lot of the times that actresses are rumored to do that kind of thing, they're not nearly as hot as she is, which makes it, like, believable, but also not. I'm not saying everything is based off from looks, but, like, listen, it's the same kind of thing as what I said earlier about, like, women who barely do anything but get a lot of views and shit. Like, if you're hot but have no talent, just what happens? Matter of fact, a lot of people like that nowadays don't even have to sleep with producers to get a role on actual TV. They just need to make an OF or join TikTok or Twitch or something and just, like, angle the camera right and exist. Though we do understand 7 people, there's 5 games, the only 2 remaining will be our main character and the blonde chick. We know that, right? Damn, even the, like, random motions of some kind of children's anime, like a Mega Man or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something. So the art style will definitely reflect the games they're playing each episode, which is good. That means we won't be, like, eternally in that Fall Guys style art. Okay, but her being, like, the all-powerful of those kind of creatures is probably the craziest part. Like, who is bigger than Cthulhu that they could be making use of in this show? That thing looks like it belongs in Mario or some Nintendo game. No, there's probably more than just things like that that are a lot faster just to throw you off. And moving that probably just made things 10 times worse. He just murdered the little thing. Oh, bonus points. W. Yeah, things are gonna get worse in the second half, probably. Yeah, see, the chicken guy gets it. Yeah, no, that seems more appropriate. Why are there numbers on it? Why is it a clock? Okay, so it can only move in one direction, though, which makes this easier to figure out. Yike. She really wants to punch that bitch in the face. That's fucked up to use that in the outro. Hopefully nothing bad happens to that doggy. Well, that episode unlocked a little bit more of a background on our main character than I would have expected it to. Honestly, I ran my point earlier on how to handle things if you don't want your babu. Because, like, I'm well known to hate children, but I still wouldn't be that fucked up in the head to do that. But we're going to reestablish real quick. They might have said that she felt about Mayu as being a sister, but we've also seen a level of closeness that very well could have been more. But I guess for now we'll believe either end. For, like, we do have already a good establishment of Yuri and this, that, and the other show this season, so not like we can rule it out per se, but I'm not going to stick too much on that for the time being. What I will stick on is it is definitely interesting because like the art style I can talk a lot of bad things about, like not bad things per se, but just like noticing how much it looks like something that could have ran on a 4Kids or a Jetix or something. But it's also as dark as a lot of the anime that are like styled better that I've watched on this channel alone. But like the attention to detail that I mentioned earlier is impressive. So like they have kind of like a back and forth of it being both weird and attention to detail. You can let me know your thoughts on the episode, the show, and whatever else in the comment section, as well as of course opinions about other things I should check out this season, next season, or in general when I have some downtime. That said, of course, don't forget to, like I mentioned, subscribe to the gaming channel in the description. Ring both bells like blue letter, blue atmosphere, the black, the orange, follow on purple. Can subscribe with purple purple free. And I might start a green account soon. Let me know your thoughts on that. Check out the playlist here. Let it run through. Have conversations with stuff within whatever. Check out the video recommended to you by the red platform here, or the bigger version if you're watching the cut-up video, because letting it run through still helps me with the algorithm, and that is highly appreciated. That being said, it's been the Blaze of Game with King's Critique. Ta for now.